Massive news today, guys. Grayscale just won the case versus the SEC in their discrepancy of converting the Grayscale GBTC trust into a Bitcoin ETF. Now, what does this mean? You guys want to watch this video throughout the entire thing. This is breaking news, and I will tell you exactly what that means. Is this all the reason to jump headfirst in the market right now, go all in, or should you still be cautious? We're going to break down exactly what this court decision means, so you have everything that you need to know how to proceed in the market and the events that could ensue in the coming weeks or days, even just days potentially. So if that sounds good, you guys, make sure you like the video. Just give yourself a hand and like the video anyway if you're happy that Bitcoin had a nice 7% pump so far today, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. My promise to you guys on this channel is to bring you alpha 5 days a week of the most important things that are happening in the market so you can be prepared to capitalize on the upcoming bull run, the best altcoins, the best narratives, and everything that's happening in the market. So I'm bringing this to you live. This news broke just a couple hours ago, and we're here making a video for you. So let's get into it. It is nice to see a green day in the market. Look at this, Bitcoin at $28,000. Altcoins are pumping too, but Bitcoin is obviously a leader on the board right now because this is what we're talking about. We're talking about a Bitcoin ETF decision. So James says, breaking, there it is. Grayscale wins their lawsuit against SEC. DC Circuit Court appeals is vacating SEC's denial of GBTC's conversion into an ETF. Now, also stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm going to show you something that we talked about recently and just how powerful it is. I'm telling you guys, I'm bringing you alpha, and if you use this tool, you would have been able to crush it today. I'll get into it in just a bit. But this is amazing news, right? So remember, we have the SEC losing in the Ripple case, SEC getting their butt handed to them here in this Grayscale case. I'm so glad that they decided to take this to court and not just let the SEC make their own ruling by enforcement. This is it's actually nice for me to see that there is justice being served properly in the justice system. You know, I'm not going to lie, guys, you know, as an American, part of me died just thinking that, you know, that the most corrupt systems were just corrupt through every nook and cranny in America. But when we see things like this happening, it really brings some happiness to my heart and gives me hope for the United States that the justice system will prevail. So it's not a clear-cut decision right now of exactly what's going to happen. So does this mean that the Grayscale GBTC trust instantly converts into an ETF? No, not yet. But it certainly brings it one step closer. I want to point out one thing in this tweet. This is from the ruling here. Now, James read through this a bit. He says there's this section circled. We agree the denial of Grayscale's proposal was arbitrary and capricious because the commission failed to explain its different treatment of similar products. We therefore grant Grayscale's petition and vacate the order. The order was to deny them an ETF. The judge in this case says, SEC, you don't have good evidence or good reason to deny this. Shut the F up and let the boys do what they want to do. Very good news. So again, from Jeff, this is a brutal quote from Rao. Here's the quote. The commission's unexplained discounting of the obvious financial and mathematical relationship between the spot and futures markets falls short of the standard for reasoned decision-making. Now, the denial officially said that, yeah, futures can have an ETF because it's regulated by the CBOE and there's less chance of manipulation. But what came back here in the decision says that this logic makes no sense. SEC, your logic makes no sense. In fact, they're saying that there's a 99% correlation between the spot price and the futures market. So it's exactly the same thing, 99.9%. So the logic that was used to deny the Bitcoin, the conversion to a Bitcoin ETF is illogical and therefore thrown out. So James read through this and he says, I've read through and digested it a bit. This is complete and utter rebuke of all the SEC's spot Bitcoin ETF denial orders. There is no wiggle room. Basically, all the SEC's arguments are shot down here. But the decision is going back to the SEC. What can the SEC do? So basically what he's saying here, guys, is that all the reasons that the SEC to date has given for all the Bitcoin ETF applications, all the reasons they denied it, he's saying in this particular ruling, every single reason that the SEC has ever given to deny a Bitcoin ETF is thrown out. So it really, really, really doesn't leave the SEC with any wiggle room to deny the pending Bitcoin ETFs that are right around the corner. So there's Adam Cochran says there's really three decisions or paths forward for the SEC here. They can delay the decision. And remember, the BlackRock ETF decision is due on the 2nd. Today's the 30th. That's a few days away, guys. A few days away. What's going to happen? The anticipation is killing me, right? So the SEC could, one, delay the decision and come up with some new fake BS reason. Two, concede and approve. Best case decision, best case of all. Now, the reason why, again, this decision today paves the path forward for Bitcoin ETF to come in. And again, all of the SEC's bad calls of why they're not approving it were shot down in this court decision. So the SEC really has their back up against the wall. So are they going to concede and approve and finally let the Bitcoin ETF happen? Now, the reason why the price isn't pumping past $28,000 right now, in my opinion, is because the retail is pretty much out of dry powder, right? Inflation is real. People aren't making a lot of money. Credit card debt is very high. People don't have a lot of disposable income right now. So there's not a lot of retail dry powder sitting on the sideline. The real pump will come as soon as the Bitcoin ETF is approved. When that happens, everyone who has any dry powder left over will throw it in and we'll get a nice pump. But then the massive pump will ensue in the following weeks and months as all of BlackRock and VanEck and Fidelity and all the other guys, ARK, that have filed Bitcoin ETFs, when they get approved, they're going to have all of their thousands of salespeople that manage all of these trillions of dollars of accounts immediately get on the phone all day long. Bop. Hey, Joe. Yep. So yeah, I know you heard Bitcoin ETF is approved. We suggest that of your $10 million that we manage for you, you put, between 1% to 5% of that in Bitcoin. How much do you want to do? 3%? Yeah, 3% sounds good. Okay, I'll make that purchase for you. Boom. They go and purchase. One call done. Next one done. Next one done. Next one done. Everybody's going to say yes to this, right? It's very, very unlikely that when these brokers and agents from BlackRock and Fidelity and VanEck and ARK call up their customers and suggest that they put a portion of the portfolio to hedge against the inflation, hedge against the fall of US dollar, hedge against real estate, hedge against bonds, hedge against mutual funds, that they're not going to say yes. And then over the following months, 1% to 5% of those trillions of dollars that are managed by all these companies applying for the ETF will come into Bitcoin. And this will send this price northwards. It'll pump liquidity in the market. Retail will have more money. The altcoins will start pumping, and it'll just start the next bull run. Absolutely. The third thing that says here is that request and bank appeal of the case. This is just suggesting that they could appeal the case. Now, the SEC decided not to appeal the XRP case, and I highly do not think that they're going to appeal this case, right? To me, it seems like the path forward is already set. Seems like I said before, if you guys have been watching my channel now for a while, you know that I believe that the SEC is really controlled by BlackRock and these other guys. And the ETF is not a matter of if, it's just when. And all the stones seem to be laid out before us to prove a path that this is going to happen soon. This could happen any day, guys. As soon as I saw this news, I saw the news instantly. I went and I did, if you guys haven't watched my video on Aave yet, the looping mechanism, I went and immediately took out a loan, put it in there, got it just under $27,000 and bought a bunch more Bitcoin, put it back as collateral, and very happy for that little trade I did. So Gary appealing. U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is reviewing court's decision in Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF matter to determine next steps, a spokesperson said. Ugh, whatever. Will Clemente says, we are so effing back. I mean, it's true, guys. The writing's on the wall. The good times ahead. We are in the longest bear market in history. There's not a lot of you here still. If you are here, pat yourself on the back, and you will be rewarded heavily in the coming bull market. So you guys see I follow this account, North Rock LP, a lot. A key section, spot BTC approval seems inevitable now. So Grayscale advanced substantial evidence that is proposed Bitcoin ETP was similar to the Curium and Valkyrie Bitcoin futures ETP, and therefore we should have received the same regulatory treatment. Grayscale's proposed Bitcoin ETP and the approved Bitcoin futures ETP all track the Bitcoin market price, i.e. the spot market price. Grayscale's link is direct. It holds Bitcoin. So it's just making that comparison between the futures and the spot Bitcoin ETF, saying that it's a spot. It tracks the price identically. So I'm not sure on the timing, but both BTC and ETH spot ETFs are now extremely high odds. Extremely high odds. If you're not bullish by now, guys, what are you doing? If you're not fully in the market, if you're not bullish, if you still think Bitcoin's going back down to 20,000, I just don't know what to do. I mean, I could be wrong. There could be a black swan, but it just seems like this Bitcoin ETF is going to happen sooner than later. BTC likely within a few months. The judges basically said future surveillance is sufficient, among other things, so SEC no longer has grounds to deny, right? And so it could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months, but it's certainly coming. So Ansem says, how the hell are they going to justify not approving all these other spot ETFs now? You think BlackRock didn't already know this was an outcome? Fix is in, right? It just, like I said before, BlackRock knows everything that's going on. They just have too much power to not have their eyes and ears in every single thing. What are the chances we get straight win for BlackRock on Friday, given the Grayscale situation today? Guys, this is what I'm saying. This is crazy. I hope that you're paying attention. I hope that you're paying attention and you play your cards right and you're watching this channel, because when Bitcoin pumps, all the altcoins will pump with it as well. And we could have a decision as soon as Friday. So from Luke Martin, it says the best snippet from Grayscale's win versus SEC, the judge agreed that the SEC decision to treat BTC futures ETFs differently than BTC spot ETFs is ridiculous. Gensler is being exposed, and the SEC's reason for denying spot ETFs are collapsing in real time. Giant win for Bitcoin. So last but not least, guys, I want to talk about something I told you guys about yesterday. This is major alpha. In fact, it's a really, I'm not saying buy this, right? But the opportunity is actually really good right now. This is how I talked about Newsly. I think it was yesterday or day before. Now, what this is imagine if, like, so I saw this news come up, right? Instantly, I'm like in one of the groups I'm in. I talked about Newsly. I wish that yesterday when I made the video, I would have went and signed up to use it, because what I had to do to make my trade, and when I saw the news that the Grayscale won the case, I instantly went to Aave. I made a loan, but you have to do Ethereum block times, and then I had to go borrow USDC, and then I had to go buy wrapped Bitcoin on 1inch, and then I had to go redeposit it and add as collateral, and that took time, right? And by the time I finally bought Bitcoin, is at $27,000. Newsly, if you had Newsly and you had it in your Telegram, boom, that news instantly would have come in to your Telegram, and you could have instantly clicked long 5x, long 10x, whatever, and it would have filled your position instantly without having to do all these manual efforts. I really think this is an interesting use case for Newsly. It has gone down quite a bit. Let's see, a nice little pump now, actually. But it was down when I checked it just 45 minutes ago, something 14%. So now it's up. Okay, well, yeah. So, but guys, a nice little correction here, right? This just launched not too long ago. Again, do your own research. But today, it seemed to prove its use case. All right, guys, that's going to be it for tonight. Today, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I sure am. This is great news for all of us. I really look forward to what's coming ahead. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.